Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now this week we have the twin festivals for the dates of independence. Canada on the 1st and America on the 4th. Happy freedom, folks. We were promised freedom over 3,500 years ago, and some still do not have it. It's your God-given right, so grab it, celebrate it, and get out there and enjoy the fireworks. Now, speaking of fireworks, I had a great discussion with someone after last week's show who told me they felt completely discombobulated that suddenly we were in year 40 of the journey. What happened? How'd we get there? Miriam's gone. Aaron's gone. Then there's this strange Harry Potter magic everywhere. I mean, what's with the magic wand? It grows flowers and almonds and brings water out of rock. And then giant caduceus heals people from all these snake bites and plagues. And I told him, he ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till this week as we continue with the roller coaster ride of magic. Timothy Leary's dead. No, no, no. He's outside looking in. Timothy Leary's dead. No, no, no. He's outside looking in. He'll fly his astroplane, take you trips around the bay, bring you back the same day. Timothy Leary, Timothy Leary, a very famous Harvard professor. Well, I mentioned the story as art, as metaphor, that it's been with us always. Jack and the Beanstalk, The Wizard of Oz, the Odyssey, the Iliad, the first of them all, the Legend of Gilgamesh. All great stories, all great metaphors to life. These are the stories that affect the collective consciousness of us all. So let's take a moment and invite that collective consciousness to come together in our showing of faith, of love, as a community, a chavura, fellowship. When we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share. Come together, my friends, from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov, Luminari, Shevet Achim Gam Yah. Hine Matov, Luminari, Shevet Achim Gam Yah. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. And that's what we need to be, my friends, as a community all together. Let's spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Now, as the great central prayers in all systems call for healing every time they are said, let's use this special holiday time to call on that special renewal energy for everybody we know. So think of whoever you can that needs healing or renewal or just goodwill. Just focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam that is part of our genetic makeup. For dear sweet Bob, for Rudy, for Aubrey, for Ben, for Lindsay, for Nicholas, Michael, for the bee. And of course, make sure you include yourself, my friends, because you need renewal too. It is the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out that just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Me, Shabbat, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Yishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed the world over. Now remember, friends, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to talk to whoever or whatever you happen to believe in. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention, your goodwill. And so many people really enjoyed the new simplified, easy version of the standing prayer that invites the glory of sacrosanctity into your life. So let's take a brief moment and make our entreaty and give our thanks to God. Blessed are you, Lord our God, holy God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, and Rachel, King of creation, who heals the sick, resurrects the dead, who allows our souls to grow and to transcend time and space, who turns the seasons and brings rain and dew and sun so that beauty and bounty follows. Please grant all of us wisdom and understanding, strength and mercy, knowledge and feeling. Show us the road to goodness. Teach us to forgive and to be compassionate. Please bring health and renewal to those in need. And bless all humanity and all the creatures of life. We thank you for all you do, for all you give, for all you bring. We ask that our prayers be accepted and that you continue to shine your face on all who seek you. Now, you've heard me say this before, and you'll certainly hear me say it again. This is one of the great Torah parshas. In a book without humor, it is brilliantly humorous. People yakety yak a streak and waste your time a day. But Mr. Ed will never speak unless he has something to say. Now, would that more people were like Mr. Ed. But my good pal knows. You see, friends, humor is such an essential part of human life that the Bible would be strange and incomplete without it. It makes it real. And this week we read Balak, the comic relief of the Bible. Now, Balak was the king of Moab, and he hires Balaam, a contract soothsayer wizard. And he says, look, a people's come out of Egypt. It's covered the eye of the land, meaning the land completely. And it's sitting over against me, and so pray, go curse this people for me, for it is mightier than I. Perhaps I shall be able to strike against it and drive it out of the land, for I know that whom you bless is blessed, and whom you curse is cursed. Now, the connection between Balaam and that very promise given in God's first words to Abraham is explicit. And we're going to hear these same words eerily said in the paragraphs ahead. So how did this happen? How did Balaam get picked? Well, just like now, people seek out the best. Well, the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian went with spells in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke Balak's words to him. Now notice also that we now have Midian tied to Moab. We've gone far from Moses' father-in-law's home being friendly to it being an enemy. It took less than 40 years. You see, the fear of Balak is that these other people are bigger, perhaps stronger, but they're different. And he uses the same expression to describe the Israelites that is used to describe the plague of the locust swarm in Egypt. And it's a strange human characteristic, my friends, taking the very existence of someone who is different and strong to be a threat. Fear, the great thief. But as we have seen life imitating art before, this parsha is about today. This is about class demonization. Now, it's easier to demonize certain groups, more obvious groups, different colored groups. It's harder to demonize ones you can't be so sure of, like Jews. They can blend in, so you make them wear a star, you do genetic testing. But now, how do we identify ideas, ideologies, political support? Well, we've now reached a new low in cultural demonization. There was a discriminatory fervor over religious freedom argument with the baker who refused to make the wedding cake for the gay couple. Some said it was religious choice, some said it was a business choice. Business choice did not fare as well. And that was just a year or two ago, and it just came up again recently. But now, we can deny service to someone because of their job. Now business choice has become an acceptable reason to discriminate. Or is it because of their political affiliation? What's wrong with us? How many steps back are we going to take? Just continues. So Balaam tells the emissary, stay the night, he'll think about their entreaty. God comes to him and says, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for it is blessed. And that becomes his answers. He cannot go and do this. And so the elders return to Balak and report in, and he sends them back with even more to offer. And Balaam answers, should Balak give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not cross the word of the Lord my God to do either a small thing or a great one. He could not go against the word of God. Can't be done. And then God, it doesn't matter what they offer him. And then God says that if they do come back, go. If these men have come to call you, rise, go with them. But only the words that I speak to you shall you do. Now, How fantastic is it, my friends, that the Torah, a work that comes from Israel, pictures the Creator as communicating with a non-Israelite prophet just as well. It's a reminder. The Torah begins with the story of the connection between God and all of the earth, and it keeps reminding us of that all throughout the book. Well, the elders do come back. And Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his ass, and he went with the chieftains of Moab, and God's wrath flared because he was going with them. And the Lord's messenger, which we know is an angel, stationed himself in the road as an adversary to him. Now, God just said, go with them. And now he sees not happy that he did. Hey, which is it? Do what I say or do what I really want or what? How are you supposed to know? And we debate that instead of the messages of this great story. The scenes with the angel in the road are absolutely incredible. Read it. It's over a period of three episodes. This whole series of 3 incidents is completely brilliant. Balaam the seer sees nothing, but the ass he's riding sees all and continues to veer away from the avenging angel every time. Just like a blind man, I wandered along, worries and fears, claim for my own. Then, like the blind man, that God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Well, Balaam sees nothing, and he keeps beating his ass for turning away from where he keeps directing him. Numbers 22:28. And the Lord opened the ass's mouth, and she said to Balaam, what have I done to you, that you should have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the ass, because you have toyed with me. Had I a sword in my hand, by now I would have killed you. And the ass said to Balaam, am I not your ass upon whom you've ridden your whole life till this day? Have I ever been wont to do this to you? And he said, no. And the Lord unveiled Balaam's eyes, and he saw the Lord's messenger stationed in the road, his sword unsheathed in his hand, and he prostrated himself and bowed down on his face. I love it. The Lord opened the ass's mouth. Now, this is the only talking animal, if one excludes the mythological serpent in the garden story, in the entire Bible. And the early rabbis, sensitive to the anomaly, put the mouth of Balaam's ass on their list of 10 phenomena especially preordained from the time of creation. This was preordained from the beginning of time. Now, the only thing we don't know is her name. He saw an animal that liked to snort. Horns on his head, and they weren't too short. Looked like there was nothing he couldn't pull. I think I'll call it a bull. Man gave names to the animals, but we don't know this name. And the Lord uncovered Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of God standing up on the road. What do we see? How blind are we, even with our eyes wide open? What does it take for us to see? And you never know, my friends, when you have your eyes opened. It can happen anytime, any place. John Newton was a British slave trader in the 1700s. And he had his own epiphany, and his eyes were open. And he wrote one of the great hymns of all time. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now when found, was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace. Now, isn't that the perfect song for the wilderness generation? The cloud that they were accompanied by was often called God's grace. It guided the people through the dangers and toils. It brought them safe, and it will lead them home. Well, Balaam can't curse simply because he's told to curse. He can only say what God has told him, and he has said that. So once again, he blesses. Once again, Balak was not pleased. Numbers 23:11. And Balak said, "What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have done nothing but bless." And he answered and he said, "By that which the Lord puts in my mouth, only that do I keep to speak." He said he would speak God's words, and he has. The same words God spoke to Abraham at the beginning of this journey, your journey. Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, my friends, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those that you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. And please do. Learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your heart. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. It's for you. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with accountability and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is, without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land, your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Don't follow fear, my friends. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you are forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed into good. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself. And love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief. And do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean to you. And remember, express love to the special people in your life and to your God. And imagine how awesome life would be if we put all of our differences aside. Imagine there's countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people giving life in peace. Be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, and put your will on the blank canvas of life and keep celebrating being free to be you. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Obviously, the dogs want me. Take care. I'll speak to you next week.